Now we're going to make tenons, mortises, and rabbets using a solid carbide upcut bit. I've laid out the boundaries of the mortise on the board. I've indicated the left side and the right side and extended those lines so that I can see them on the face of the board. I've also drawn two lines on a piece of masking tape that indicate the left side and right side for this router bit. To make the mortise, I'll plunge the piece into the bit and move it back and forth until the left line on the board meets the left line on the table and the right line on the board meets the right line on the table. The first cut is half the depth of the mortise. Shut down the router and increase the bit to the full depth of the mortise, in this case, 1.25 inches. Making these mortises after the laid out, straightforward and simple. Making the tenons is simple. I use a square piece of MDF as a backer board to support the workpiece as I move it through the bit. I've set the bit height so that the resulting tenon matches the thickness of the mortise. The solid carbide spiral upcut bit does a great job cutting the cheek of the tenon. We have two more cuts to make on this tenon, and that's to take a little bit off the shoulder. For this, we'll lower the bit slightly and run the piece through on its edge. That's a really fast, clean way to make tenons. To make them fit the round-sided mortises, we lop off each corner with the chisel. There's a nice snug fit. Now I need to make a rabbet on the edge of the boards for this mirror frame. I use the same spiral upcut bit, just set to a shallower depth. The spiral upcut bit leaves a nice clean finish on the rabbet. After rabbeting the other pieces of the frame, I square up the corners where the rabbets come together. Now it's time to make the raised panel. For this operation, I'm going to show you where I put the horizontal router table in my shop and how I connected it to dust collection. I moved the horizontal router table to the cabinet that sits adjacent to my existing router table. There's a dust collection shroud in the rear that lines up with the opening in the center of the horizontal router table. All the dust and chips created while using this table exit out that dust collection shroud. I created an angled plug that directs the chips towards the shroud. I used the vertical raised panel bit from MLCS Woodworking to create the raised panel. Initially, I'll set the bit so it's just protruding a little bit above the table, and I use a push stick that has a hook at the rear to guide the piece through. I cut the end grain portion of the panel first. If any tear out should occur, this will get cleaned up when I run the long grain side. Shut down the router and raise the bit for the next pass. It's best to make many incremental passes to ensure a smooth finish on the final pass. You can see the profile starting to take shape. I proceed in this manner until the full profile is cut on the panel. Took about 4 passes and I got a really smooth finish on the panel. Well, that concludes my demonstration on the MLCS horizontal router table. It's a versatile and capable machine. This unit is offered at a discount in package pricing that includes router bits. And as always, there's free shipping. So check out MLCS Woodworking on the web at www.mlcswoodworking.com or call toll-free at 1-800-533-9298 to purchase yours.